Woo! Let me tell you about my God. Jesus. Everything happens for a reason. Ericka told me, Dion, look, I only have a moment because I'm double booked. And I was like, Ericka, I really need you here because this is a special My Be More project. And you know what? I've basically done 4 intros previously that have been deleted. So for all of you that are joining,
oh wow,
I'll make it really quick for you. My name is Dion Joyner. As you're joining, my name is Dion Joyner Weems. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. You got to say it all together. I am proud to be the visionary, the founder of hashtag My Be More, which is a civic social movement that started in 2017 to just literally put the storytelling into the hands of the people that can tell Baltimore's story best, which is the people of Baltimore. I'm also the Chief Energy Officer of the Audacity Group, which is a global marketing shop where we facilitate bold ideas. And I'm also the mother of 3 beautiful boys and the author of That Part, which some know but won't tell you about motherhood, which is a diary and a declaration of finding your light in the darkness and using it. I'm sorry, I'm taking a breath because let me just jump into the intro. Be More Project is excited to welcome 2 guests to speak about the new documentary, The Body Politic, which is making major noise at film festivals countrywide. The fight against violence is an age-old problem for not only Baltimore, but urban cities across the United States of America. From the war on drugs, mass incarceration, and the nation's increased spending on policing for more than 40 years, some could say that our nation's approach to crime has done more to agitate and instigate our communities than to heal them. The body politic reflects the challenging reality of our political system, the devastating pain of gun violence, and a community's commitment to peace. We are joined by Erricka Bridgeford, who is the Executive Director of Baltimore Community Mediation and the co-founder of the Baltimore Peace Movement, as well as, and I want to put emphasis on it, hold on before I finish off.
Just like the Tribe Called Quest, you got to say it all together.
Say that shit all together.
All of it.
Because I really need for the basis of this conversation to also understand that she's also the nation's foremost thought leader on alternative dispute resolution. We're talking about solutions. When you come to My Be More Project, it's taking the people that are closest to the challenges you're trying to address and fixing them. Ericka is one of the main characters in this film, directed by Gabriel Goodenough, a Baltimore native who has invested his life. He has invested his life into this 3-year creation. And for anyone that comes out of that world of independent filmmaking, if you know about the money that goes into producing something like this, so that's a 3-year commitment of his life with a passion for his city and 25 years of filming experience on projects like A Beautiful Mind to The Wire. Gabriel has brought a complicatedly rich story to the big screen for all of us to experience for free. And when I say for free, so y'all need to go to Eventbrite, because there are numerous screenings that are happening over the next 2 weeks in which you can go and form your own opinion on what we're going to speak about today. Y'all, I usually do a little speed round before we get deep of questions. I'll make it shorter than usual, okay? So that means maybe I'll throw 2 to both of you. All right, so Ericka, I'm going to go to you first. Gabriel, I'm going to go to you second. Then I'm going to go back to Ericka. You ready?
Okay.
Ericka, texting or talking?
You said texting or talking?
Are you a texter or you got to call me?
Text.
Text. Gabe, your crab cake, fried or broiled? Broiled. Got the broil. Okay. If you had 25 hours in a day, Ericka, what would you do with that extra hour?
Can I say that on here?
Is it procreate?
I mean, My tubes are tied, so no babies getting made out of it. But
an experience will be had.
it's going down.
Okay, if you had what? Gabriel, what you doing with your hour? What you bringing with your hour?
Me? Oh, I'm gonna sleep.
And on that note, let's jump into this conversation. Why do I say up front? Hashtag my Be More was started in order to empower the people to feel like the superheroes they have been waiting for. So Ericka and I, Gabriel, have a relationship. And Ericka has known me to know that it is not taking anything away from our political leaders. It's empowering our everyday people to feel just as accountable, to feel just as engaged, to feel just as empowered as the people that we have to represent us. So my Be More really focuses on people and ground. And they have told us that the people that they trust most are the grassroots leaders, the people that are a product or have at least experienced what we're saying we're trying to find a sustainable solution for. Now, here's my first question for you. This is what it's framed in, okay? When I saw the early advertisement or promotion, because you can see I come from a marketing background, when I saw the early promotion for this film, I surmised, okay, gun violence has always had the world's attention. And with the murder of George Floyd and the 2020 Democratic mayoral election in Baltimore, it was as if a spotlight just went, and the focus became that race and what's going to be the answer to what the entire nation had stood still and watched. And that's what I surmised, and I'm like, okay, that's a powerful narrative, and I kept on going, right? But then I saw grassroots leaders like Ericka involved, and I heard more conversations around a personal, holistic approach to violence reduction. I was listening more about community engagement. And I thought, okay, well, if my Be More's project is not to politically endorse, it's really to uplift the voices of the community. So my question to you is, where do you consider the heart of this film grounded or centered in? You made this, share through the process, where do you find the heart of this film centered? And that's for both of you. But I wanted to frame it because Ericka, I gave you the phone call quick. I was like, I need to talk to you. I need to be able to help promote, but I was conflicted because I didn't know how. And I'm like, well, this is what the mission is. The mission is to uplift the voices of the people that are closest to the challenge, period.
I'm going to answer it, and I'm going to try to be brief. I think the heart of it is grounded in a love for Baltimore. Like, the very last thing you see at the end of the movie is it says dedicated to the people of Baltimore. And that is what you see throughout the whole movie. When I first saw it, I said, oh, this looks like it's shot through love's eyes. It looks like whoever shot this film really loves our city. The way that Brandon shows up in the film is very much how we see him showing up right now with the Key Bridge and how he's having to navigate media and racism and everything. Being just, he loves this city, and it's shown in the way that he is fighting for our city in this film. My role in the film, just everybody you see as the characters, the heart of it is like, oh, they really love Baltimore lives. Like, Baltimore lives is what really matters to them, and the quality of Baltimore lives. And although it's hard, no matter who does or doesn't give them permission, they don't need permission because they're going to do what they feel like they have to do for their city. And that is what I think most people around the world who have seen this film walk away with.
That was well said. Thank you. Please.
Wow, there's so many answers to that question, but I've said it multiple times when I talk. I mean, there is nothing that is non-human on this planet that I love more than the city that I was born in, which is Baltimore, Maryland. You know, this film for me it's not a Brandon Scott film, right? And as much as I love her, it's not even an Erricka Bridgeford film. This is a film about this addiction that this country has to violence, right? Violence in the United States is a 400-year-old problem. And we're not going to solve that problem in 4 years of Brandon Scott's leadership or anyone else that wins, right? It's going to be a multi-generational learning and healing experience, right? And I think the film is really made out of that, right? It's made out of showing how difficult unmurder is, right? How difficult unviolence is. And for me, that is really the film. And, you know, the setting is this place that I love, Baltimore, Maryland. And you know, it was very important for me to not show acts of violence in the film. There are no acts of violence in the film. The most violent thing is probably hearing George Floyd. But we didn't really want to center the film on violence. We wanted to center the film on the struggle for unmurder, on the struggle for what that looks like.
Thank you. Erricka, you have been meeting with group violence reduction experts, because I've seen you touring. I'm curious to know what has been the response to the work or effort being made to Baltimore as they view this film now.
This film is shifting a lot of people's perspectives about our city. You know, everywhere you go, people just know that you say two and The Wire. Like, that's all people know about Baltimore. And so the perceptions about our city are that we don't love ourselves and that we're just violent, like not understanding how much peace and how many more warriors we have for peace. And so it shifts perspectives about our city. It makes people say, oh, I'm asking the wrong questions about Baltimore. I need to look other places to see where I get my information about Baltimore. But then one of my favorite parts is really being able to meet violence intervention people around the country, especially. Gabe has done a very good job anytime we're going to finding out who's doing the on the ground work there and sending them invitations so that they come and see this movie and they see themselves on screen, although it's Baltimore, and they join us in panel discussions after the film, and they get up before the film and tell the audience about their work, and they're able to promote what they're doing right there in their local communities, which this movie leaves you going, what can I do, right? And so people, wherever we are, get to connect right with the people who are doing the work right where they live. And that's one of my favorite parts about it, is getting to meet, you know, our doppelgangers on the ground around the world.
I can't imagine another Dion, but I'm trying to make them. I like it.
Right.
Let's continue on that path, though. Gabriel, you have stated, and I love this, that truth is personal and it relates more to who you are as a person. So what questions would you like the audience to ask themselves or ask others after watching your film?
I think it's very much what Ericka just said. It's what can I do, right? What can I do to heal my city or my town, right? And what am I doing to further violence, right? Like, violence isn't just shooting someone with a gun, right? Violence is how you can interact with another human being, right? This disease of violence, which is really one of the philosophies on undoing violence, it could just be how you treat someone, right? It's really how can we create an era and an energy of positivity in our own personal communities, right? Like, just like the old saying of, you know, think globally, act locally, right? Like, what can we do as human beings to create a peaceful energy and a peaceful aura in our own communities that then spreads?
Two more questions for y'all before I let you go. And I want to thank you again, Ericka and Gabriel, for being on. And I'm definitely going to be at the next screening because I love to see this, to experience this for myself. But I wanted to be able to shape the narrative. So I'll ask you, Ericka. You know that I love James Baldwin.
Mm-hmm.
but I've never been a fan, and people correct me all the time that I'm not a fan of politics. I don't like politics. But James Baldwin talks about how you may not believe or like politics, but it wakes up every morning thinking about you. So how would you define politics after completing this film, and even more so as you promote this, as you promote it during this campaign season, even as you're doing it now? So
that's good. Yeah, I think that what's really cool about it is for me, politics is just like any other energy. It depends on who's wielding it, right? And so we're used to politics being used for clout chasing and just only meeting the needs of the few and nurturing systems of oppression. And, so when people say, oh, the system is broken, and we go, it's not broken, it's working exactly the way it's supposed to, because it wasn't built to nurture us, right? And so, but when you have people who are using that energy and wielding it in the correct ways, you literally end up healing the world slowly but surely. And it happens much quicker than you thought it could, if you're using it in a healthy kind of way, So there's definitely a lot of miswielding and misusing it and using it for destruction. But there are politicians that I trust in this world. I mean, I can count them on my 4 fingers that I have, but there are politicians that I trust in this world. But politics in general, like it just, you can have good politics, right? My dad was a Black Panther, and that was like, we got good politics, right? So it depends on how you use your energy regardless.
Was there, and Gabriel, I want you to please take the same question, but now I'm just curious, even as I am working in this space of nonprofit and grassroots of understanding, there is politics everywhere. Is that something that you come across as you were filming or recognize? Gabriel, feel free to take. Erricka, jump in.
I mean, I think I've seen, when I was filming, not as much, but in trying to get, I mean, when again, this is I've worked in film for more than 2 decades, but always as a blue collar worker, right? Like I've always been lifting stuff, right? This is my first film as a director. And what I've noticed is that the really difficult part of filmmaking is not just making the film, it's getting it out to the world, right? And there are so many gatekeepers and there are so many gates in front of getting something out to the world, especially something like this. So I've seen an inordinate amount of politics on this side, on the side of bringing it to the world, and who gets to see it, and whose truth is it, and who makes money off of it, because there's no money for us, but like obviously people do make money. So it's a complicated thing to get content out into the world, as you know, as a content maker.
Yeah. I am hopeful, and I want to leave this last moment to you as it relates to content and owning your narrative. My Be More project wants to be able to provide a safe space for the information that impact the everyday people most. We get so distracted by politics. We get so distracted that we go within and we're like, you know what? Yo, I'm taking care of mine. Y'all handle yours. And we didn't come into the world to function in that way. So I want my Be More project to be of service to you. So I want to ask you both, you're speaking to Baltimore City, just the aunts, uncles, the everyday folks. What do you want them to know as they see the Body Politic pop up in their feed or on TV or in conversation? What do you want them? Speak to them. These are your words, and I'll go Erricka.
Y'all, when you see this film pop up in your feed, know that if you've ever lost anybody to violence, this film points out the fact that we are not losing our loved ones in vain, that although murder feels like something that we can't do anything about, it absolutely is not just something we can do something about, but something that people are doing something about. So if you feel broken, if you feel stuck, if you feel like you can't breathe because of so much grief and so much pain of what violence and murder is doing, please understand that this film is one that speaks to why our lives matter and why our peace is worth fighting for.
Thank you. Gabriel.
Dear Baltimore, this film is a poem to how beautiful you are, right? And how amazing things come from the salt of the earth, right? We are the salt of the earth. We're a working class city and a working class people, and we can lead this whole amazing wave of healing that is starting to happen in our nation, right? And it's happening right here. And it's not our leaders that are doing it, it's us. So please watch the film, see the beauty, and we love you.